All right, welcome to another episode of Sigh of Relief. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me is my co host, Kaya. Kaya, what's going on?
Not too much. I know I always say this, but it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Most people have a 3-day weekend. I have a 4-day weekend, so
What's going on this weekend?
Memorial Day
It's
on
Memorial Day
Monday.
already?
You should check to see if you have the day off on
Yeah, hopefully I
Monday.
got the day off. I'm thinking about like plans. Like, what am I could have made plans. I could have took a vacation, a weekend vacation.
You could
I,
have.
I didn't even know it was a holiday.
Yeah, you're a little late to the party, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
take
real
off
late.
Friday, so
Oh, so you got a
I'm
4 day
happy.
weekend.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm happy.
Okay, nice,
Just need
nice.
to knock tomorrow out because yeah, looking
Oh,
forward.
yeah, so tomorrow is your Friday. Man, it's a 4 day
Mhm.
weekend. Do you have any
Yes.
exciting plans for the weekend or you're just gonna be chilling?
I'm gonna try to go to Atlanta, but we'll
Oh,
see
oh
if
yeah.
I make it or
Atlanta's
not.
nice. Atlanta's nice. How long do you plan on staying?
One day.
One
Planning
day.
on leaving Friday and coming back Saturday.
That ain't enough.
That's enough for me in Atlanta.
No,
I
you
don't
gotta
need
eat
too
the
much
food.
time.
Like
Mm,
Atlanta, I love Atlanta's food. Some of the food that I can get in Atlanta, I can't get in
like what?
Chicago. I can't. The soul food in Atlanta is probably the best soul food I've ever had.
Oh well, we don't see because I have plans to go to. Man, I've been talking about going here all week, and of course now I'm having a brain fart. Toast on
Yeah,
Linux.
I never heard of it. It must be new.
Okay, it
But
better be good. I know that. We'll report back
yeah,
next week if it's good.
if you were gonna be there for days, I could have told you where the best wings were, where the best barbecue is, where the best soul food is.
I ain't
I
gonna be
mean, it's
there
so
for that
much.
long.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, 24 hours in Atlanta. Good luck. You're gonna be if you tired now, you're gonna be tired after that 24 hours
Oh, that's
because
okay. I got Sunday and Monday to recuperate, so
right. And then
I'm good.
Sunday gonna come around and you're gonna be out Sunday fun day. You're gonna be day
I
partying
don't think
and day
so.
drink. Okay, you don't think so until your friends call you. What you doing? It's a holiday.
I'd probably be at somebody's pool with my feet
Mhm.
kicked up, drinking hands,
Right.
sunglasses on.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
that at most,
Sleeping,
but
at the pool. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then you're gonna have a big sun tan on your face and some
Hey,
some
that's
tan
okay.
lines.
I'm okay with that.
So
So now you
yeah,
got to figure out what you're gonna do this weekend.
I'm jealous that you're going to Atlanta and I don't have any plans. So um, maybe I'll see what my family's doing. Maybe I may take a flight home. I know it's gonna be
Oh,
expensive.
that's good.
Well, I didn't say I'm doing it. I said I'll check and see how much the flights are, and then
The thought
yeah,
is
I'm
good.
putting it out in the air. I'll manifest
Right.
lower ticket prices. Um, that's an option. I don't know. I'll hit some of my local friends up and see what they're doing. But I did not know it was a holiday. So
Hmm.
thank you for letting me know. Because if you didn't say anything, um, I would have been pressing that power button on Monday morning to turn my computer on. So
Oh, you would have been hot. I would have been hot.
yeah. So yeah. I mean, I did not know.
It
I
crept
did
up
not
on
know.
us, but I know of all holidays. I know about a month in advance because I need
Yeah.
to know, okay, when do I need to take some extra time?
Mhm.
After about 4 weeks of having no days off, yeah, I'm starting to go a little stir crazy. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Man. And then the next holiday is the 4th of July, right?
yep.
Okay. That's that was probably my favorite. How
Unless you
of
have
course
Juneteenth
Christmas.
off.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to check the schedule. But 4th of July was one of my outside of Christmas. It was probably my favorite holiday growing up as a kid. My family barbecued.
Yeah.
We pot firecrackers.
Hmm.
Uh, it's the summer, so you're out for school. I mean,
Yes,
I
that's
love
true.
the 4th, and I
That's
still
true.
love it now because you know how
Now it's
much I
just
love barbecue.
obnoxious, I think.
I love the 4th of July. I mean, I
I
love it.
think having to hear other people's fireworks if you're just like at
Mhm,
home, not really doing anything, can be
mhm,
really obnoxious until like,
mhm,
2, 3 a.m. Because I don't
mhm.
really like to go out and club on 4th of July. Like, do you like to be out and club and all that stuff?
I didn't know people went to the club on the 4th of July. Like
People do.
to me, the 4th
No,
is
oh,
family. It's a family
barbecues.
holiday, huh?
Okay, most of our peers don't know how to barbecue though. So there's really
Yeah,
no
but
barbecue activities, grill activities. You're just kind of at the pool drinking.
yeah. So we didn't have a pool. Well, our neighbor had a pool, but I swear, how long was we there?
I'm
My
talking about
entire
an adult, not a
yeah,
kid.
yeah, I don't care about no pool. I want some barbecue.
But do your peers know how to barbecue? Do your group of friends know
My
how to
family,
barbecue?
my
Okay,
family
your
does.
family.
Do my friends know how to barbecue? Pit Room knows how to barbecue. So
My family knows how to barbecue too, but
oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
flying home for Fourth of July.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
somebody in my immediate friend group to know how to put some ribs on the grill, some
yeah,
hot dogs. I want some
yeah.
burnt hot dogs,
Yeah, I
ribs,
do too. Yeah, yeah.
chicken.
Some burnt hamburgers, some
All
dry ass
that.
chicken. Yeah, I want it too, but unfortunately, Pit Room and Truth Barbecue are the only
Lord,
family I have that's barbecuing like that at a that's near.
touches.
So
But I know I'm not.
yeah,
I ain't going to no barbecue place on Memorial Day. Them lines gonna be no
i-
out
if
cut.
you get there early enough, you can probably get the barbecue. But that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna go get some barbecue,
Mm-mm.
and I'm gonna wait in line for probably 2 days to get the barbecue. So uh,
Literally, you're gonna be in line for five
yeah,
ever.
right.
Good luck.
Man, it's Memorial Day. Yeah, so my family, like I said, I think I was telling you last week. Well, I don't know if I said it on air, but they hosted a Mother's Day dinner, and they got kind
Oh,
of
they did. Okay.
irritated that I didn't go because
Yeah.
it was my idea to get together as a family, but they
How
dragged their
kind
feet.
of you.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I brought up. My mom asked me when the next time I'm coming home, and I said the 4th of July. I said, so schedule a barbecue and I'll come home. And so if they don't let me know
So you
within the
better
next
show
few
up.
weeks, no, if they don't let me know in the next few weeks, I'm gonna be somewhere else for the 4th of July. I'm gonna probably be in Vegas or Atlanta. Maybe I may go to Atlanta.
Hey, yeah, you go to Atlanta for Fourth of July. You let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah. So that sounds exciting. So Memorial Day.
I
I didn't
pray
know
I
anything
make the
about it.
flight.
Yeah, I
I'm
pray
gonna
you
be
make
sitting
it
at that
too.
airport all day long.
Yeah, I pray you make it
Everybody
too.
likes to travel on these holidays, so we'll
And
see.
you gotta imagine like Hartfield is gonna be crazy this weekend. It's
It's
crazy
gonna be a
already.
zoo.
So
A zoo.
yeah, so good luck to you and this
Thank
restaurant
you.
you're going to. Hopefully you have reservations because
They don't take reservations, so we're also gonna pray there too. But I really want to go, so I'm willing to wait 30, 45 minutes. Anything over that
okay,
egregious,
okay,
no. But we'll
okay.
see.
So let me guess, you saw this restaurant on TikTok.
Well, the last time I was in Atlanta, we actually went
Mhm,
in there. Food looked amazing, smelled good, but we decided to leave and go somewhere else. Huge
mhm,
mistake because where we went, the food was nasty.
mhm.
So we're gonna run this back
Okay,
and,
okay,
and see what it's given.
okay. So once you eat that soul food, if you want to know a place to get some good wings, let me know because
We'll do. Or tell me
listen.
what's the place? I remember.
Hold on, let me see if they're still open because
Don't
during
say
COVID, I'm not gonna say Harold's. I'm not gonna say Harold's.
no, not Heroes. What's the other place that everybody go? Orange drink on the side, lemon pepper hot.
Some of
It's
that.
not Wingstop, but it's just like a
Yeah, I don't know.
Atlanta Wingstop, basically.
I don't know. Oh, America's Deli, America's Best
American
Wings.
Deli, yeah,
Nah,
American
nah,
Deli.
nah,
Okay, I was like, you better not tell me no American Deli, but
nah. Let me see. Let me see
because
if they
then I'm
open
gonna
up.
be texting you,
Yeah. So
talking about you.
this place is called the Wing Bar Atlanta.
The Wing Bar Atlanta. Okay, I haven't heard
Yeah.
of
So
that.
it's I call it Wing Bar. To me, some of the best
What is it
wings.
called?
Wing Bar.
Okay, Wing Bar.
They
They
have
have
amazing
multiple
wings.
locations or just one?
Just one. It's just like a mom and
Okay,
pop operation.
got it.
Um,
Okay.
I used to go so much. The lady knew me, and she'll say, I ain't seen you in a week, and I'm
A
like,
week?
damn,
Yeah,
I
that's
come too
bad.
much.
That's very
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, the wings were like addictive. I think they putting some in the wings. They were addictive. Because
Okay, now if I go and they
I mean,
nasty,
the
then I'm gonna
wings were
tell you.
amazing. No, 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 no. The wings, they don't even sell like traditional flavors like barbecue. Like they make their own flavors and they can mix
Oh,
their own
okay.
flavors. So if you want something like uh honey agave, they can make that. Like it's
Oh,
one of the
nice.
best
Okay.
wing spots ever.
I'm gonna look up the reviews after this too. I want to
Go
see
look
what
at the
people talking
pictures.
about.
Tell them
Hmm.
Tony sent you. Tell them I know they ain't seen me in a few years, but I'm gonna be back.
Okay, I'm gonna let them know all that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, they may not remember me after a few years, but
Hmm. Especially
yeah,
your common name too. If you had a
yeah,
name like mine, then maybe. But
yeah. And it's funny because when I go places and I order food and they call my name, it's like two or three people go to the front to get their food, and we
hmm,
all looking at each other like, whose food is this?
common
And I'm looking
name.
right, right. And I'm looking like that ain't my food because that bag way too big, and I only got a burger or fries, and yeah,
A single serve.
but yeah, it's common. So let's get into our first story. So according to a new survey by Podcastle, nearly 60% of Americans say they find the New York accent annoying. The majority of Americans find the New York accent unpleasant, with some New Yorkers admitting themselves they don't like the accent. What are your thoughts on this New York accent? You know, it's the most popular, most common accent that everyone's familiar with, no matter where you live in the country.
I got two that I'm putting on my list.
Of
New
worse?
York,
Mhm.
New York. I'm gonna put them
Okay.
at even annoyingness.
Okay.
New York. What do you think I'm gonna say for the second one? There's only I felt there's not that many like distinct accents in the U.S. I feel like you have East Coast, South.
If you find New York annoying, I'm gonna say Boston number two,
No,
Baltimore.
yeah,
Okay.
they're kind of annoying too. But I'm gonna put second at New Orleans. The ones that are just like where they're overdoing it. It's just too much. The baby, yeah. Sorry to my New Orleans people, but
I love the New Orleans accent. I remember the first time
I
I
do
heard it was,
too.
yeah, when I went there. I think it was 2008, and I kept hearing people say, "Yeah, yeah, baby, around there, yeah, there."
Hmm.
I was like, and the only people I knew from New Orleans at that time was like Cash Money, and and I'm like, oh, I'm in New Orleans,
And
but yeah,
that's fine, but it's the ones
mhm,
that are just like you feel like they're overdoing it just for
mhm,
people to be like, "Oh, are you from
mhm,
New Orleans?" Those are the ones
mhm.
where I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah,
relax."
yeah, yeah, and you hear a lot of New Orleans accents, here,
In Texas,
Mississippi,
yeah.
Texas,
Hmm.
um, just the whole Gulf area. Like people
Yeah.
have the New Orleans accent, and there's so many. I don't want to call them refugees, but there's so many Louisiana, New
Transplants, we
Orleans
could say.
transplants. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's just. But yeah, New York.
But New York
I love.
is they
It
some of them
is kind of.
overdo it too.
Yeah, it is kind of. It's very distinct, and depending on who you're talking to and what part of New York they're from, it can be annoying. Um,
Hmm.
and everyone
From
knows
the
the New York
Bronx,
accent.
it's
Yeah,
just like very
it's aggressive.
extra. Like,
It's aggressive. Yeah,
okay.
it's very aggressive. So,
But there's some
spe-
southern ones that have a lot of twang to it too. That can be a bit much.
yeah, I mean, like I like a Georgia, like a Tennessee, um, California, West Coast accent. I feel like certain parts of California
Also
have
annoying.
distinct accents. Yeah, I mean, if you can't understand what the person is saying, yeah, it can be annoying. But luckily, some people say I sound like I'm from the South. Um,
Mm-mm.
but I'm from the
I don't
Midwest,
hear it.
so I got to
Yeah.
say my pop and all my Chicago slang.
And Chicago
Yeah,
people have a little bit of an accent too, but I noticed that it's different for certain people.
yeah,
Like you have like you said, that Boston accent. Then I feel like you have Southside Chicago accent,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
totally different.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Definitely. And then my grandparents are both from the South. So they're both from the South. So, it's an influence there. But,
mhm.
Midwest got the best accents. Let's talk about
I
these
don't know about
Pacific
that.
Northwest folks.
Well, I definitely feel like Washington kind of, and people gonna be mad that I say this, but I don't care. I feel like Washington definitely kind of gets their lingo from California and then tries to, twist it a little bit and make it their own. I don't really
Yeah.
feel like their lingo is their own. But yeah, I feel like the California accent can be a little questionable at times too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, now that, Kendrick is very popular
Hmm.
and they're constantly playing his music everywhere, it's like I hear this accent. It's like, man, change the song.
Hmm.
I don't want to hear this no more. Like
I've
I
been
don't want to
tired
hear
of
this.
that song a long
Yeah,
time
all of
ago.
them. But some of them are pretty good. But some of them they just constantly play it over and over.
It's
Like I'm
just yes,
like it's too much.
yes, yes.
It's way too much.
Agreed. Agreed.
Way too much. So the New York accent is often stereotyped as aggressive or harsh, which
Hmm.
contributes to its unpopularity. Um, and like we said, other regions of the country, Louisiana, the South in general, um, people find a little bit more pleasant. And then when you're from the Midwest, your accent is not as thick, depending on like where you're from.
Hmm.
People just find that easier to tolerate.
Possibly.
So
I think that we
yeah,
all probably have annoying voices to somebody. I'm sure
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
is listening to my voice right now and it sounds like chalk or what is it? Nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, I'm listening to it
that's
now,
fine.
and I'm like, let me end the stream.
And I don't care. We keep talking.
All right, cool, cool. So check this out. So 12,000 baby chicks were found abandoned in a U.S.
Oh,
Postal Service truck in California after being shipped through the mail without proper care.
oh, poor
The chicks were
chicken.
discovered in the truck when workers noticed an overwhelming odor and found
Mm.
the box of chicks, sitting in a truck unsafe. Many of the chicks were dead,
Oh,
and those that survived were severely dehydrated and stressed out.
oh, not our dinner.
Right, not my wings.
Right.
But have you ever seen? Because I don't know if you noticed, but the postal office, they do make live deliveries. Have you ever seen chickens or dogs or anything being delivered by a mailman?
Not a mailman. I've seen, when you're driving on the highway, you see
Mhm.
your
Horses.
beef, your
Yeah,
horses, your
yeah,
hamburgers.
yeah.
I've seen chicken trucks. I've actually seen when I lived in Washington, there was a huge semi truck that got into an accident with hundreds of chickens, and there were feathers all over the highway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was insane. But
Yeah.
I didn't even know that postal workers delivered chickens. What were they
Yeah.
delivering them for?
You can order chickens if you want like backyard chickens. You can order them, and they'll
Oh,
deliver them like through the mail service or whatever. Because
oh.
I've been inside of a post office
Hmm.
and I've seen the box. The box has holes in it so they can breathe,
Hmm.
and all you hear is chirping, like the
Oh,
chickens chirping. Um, but 12,000.
yeah,
This
that's a
wasn't a
lot.
mistake. Like that's a lot. Somebody purposely, not even a person, a company had to buy 12,000 chickens. Like a person doesn't just buy twelve
Hmm.
thousand chickens. Like
True.
that's going to cost a lot of money, and you have to have somewhere to store 12,000 chickens. So
Right.
when
But
I
why do
saw
you
the
think they
story,
left them there?
they probably forgot.
It had to be a minute though for them to be dead and
Yeah,
dehydrated.
and honestly, the truck driver probably said, "F this, I'm not delivering in these chickens," and
And maybe they
left them
quit on
there.
the spot.
They did something because you got to
It's a lot of
imagine the
money.
smell of 12,000 chickens.
Yeah, right.
So
And like you
yeah,
said,
if
that's
you
a lot.
yeah,
That's a lot.
right, and if you're getting
Oh.
something delivered from Amazon, like you say you get deliveries every day, and you get it and it's covered in like chicken waste, you're gonna be like, "What is the smell?"
But you think
So
they were just like in a truck, like with mail? 12,000? That had to be a truck with just chickens. Just
it had to
chickens.
be, yeah, but I haven't seen any pictures. I've seen some pictures
Yeah.
of the chickens, like them trying to like put
No.
them in homes and bring them back to
Mm-mm.
life. But if it's a mail truck, it's a mail truck. They
Right.
don't have dedicated trucks for chickens. They got trucks. If you use that truck afterwards, somebody has to clean it. So somebody that works at the post office has to clean that truck. If not, it's gonna be waste and urine everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Well, now they gotta refund 12,000 more chickens for whoever
right,
ordered them in the first place.
right. Rest in
Because I
peace.
don't want no refund.
Yeah,
Oh, rest
rest
in
in
peace.
peace, chickens. What's what's the name of that chicken from that old cartoon? He was real tall and he talked. I think he was on a Looney Tunes cartoon.
No, no.
You know.
I didn't really watch the Looney Tunes like that. That wasn't one of
Oh, my
my
grandma watched Looney
go-to
Tunes.
shows.
He was a talking
The
chicken.
Big Chicken. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's not his name.
The one
Big
who was
chicken.
running or something, I feel like.
not. I know who you're talking about. You talking about? I think his name is Speedy Gonzalez. I think his name is Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez is a mouse.
Is it a mouse? No, I don't think it's a mouse. I think it's a chicken, a rooster, or something.
Let me see. Oh, I found him. His name is Foghorn
I don't
Leghorn.
know who that. I don't know who that is. Yeah, no,
You know who he is. I'm gonna show
never
you.
seen. Never seen it.
You've seen this guy before.
Oh, I've only seen that character on like gas station chicken logos, like where they're selling like that Chester chicken or like that cheap gas station chicken. That's the only
Oh,
time I've ever seen that logo. I didn't know it
yeah,
was a part of TV.
yeah. He talks. I don't remember his personality because the cartoon is so old. Like my grandma used to watch some of those old cartoons.
Yeah.
So we only had one TV in the house at one time, so I had to watch it with her. So, but yeah, that's a pretty funny story. So last week, we talked about this Houston story of everyone moving to Houston.
Hmm.
And I've sort of found an update, not an update to that exact story, but I found something similar. And it's the complete opposite. So Rice University,
Hmm.
School of Urban Research released a 2025 survey of the Houston area. And it concludes that some troubling signs for the future of the city. According to the survey, almost half of Houston's residents have considered moving away. According to the survey, one of the top concerns was the rising crime. And
Makes sense.
Houston, yeah, Houston, or any major city, especially after COVID, the crime
Yeah.
rates have skyrocketed.
Hmm.
The city you going to this weekend, uh,
Clutching
uh,
my purse.
yeah, clutch your purse and go get the wings, get that soul food, and get out of there. Um,
Beating it quick. Yes.
yeah, but Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Miami, all of these cities, they've been seeing a rise in crime, and so the article highlighted that most folks, one of the things they care about is their personal safety, their safety
Oh
for their
yeah.
family, and all of that. So,
100%.
um, I know you've been to Houston. What are your thoughts on a rising crime? And have you had friends that say that, hey, I want to move to Houston, or have you heard more people say, hey, I want to get out of Houston?
So most of the friends who I have had who are also transplants in Houston, I think like 80% of them have moved out of Houston at this
Oh
point.
wow.
Yeah, a big portion of them have moved. Some of them just for work opportunities, some of them because they didn't like it.
Mhm.
Just various reasons, but I haven't heard anybody say specifically because of crime.
Crime.
And I think most people, I do have a few friends who have lived obviously in the loop, but everybody's so spread out. So
Oh
one
my,
person could have one experience, but then the other person, has a
completely
totally
different
different
experience.
experience because, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's in a different spectrum of Houston,
Mhm.
Katy,
Sugarland. Yeah.
Galveston,
Yes.
right?
Far.
Wherever. So I haven't heard really anybody say that safety is a concern. Obviously, most of my friends are also women.
Mhm.
So we definitely care a lot more about where we
About
live.
safety.
So we're taking safety,
Right.
into mind when we're looking for the place that we're living too. So
Right.
whereas men, they're kind of just like, oh, I don't care. I could put my head
Yeah.
anywhere.
I'm gonna live where I want to live. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
ask
not
Slim
like that.
Thug. Ask Slim Thug. They hit his
Hey.
they hit his apartment, hit his house. So
Right.
yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely understand why it's a growing concern. I think that Houston has been definitely one of the cities where I've lived where I second guess, leaving the house at a certain time. Or I
Mhm.
second guess, if I'm walking through a parking garage, like I'm definitely checking over my shoulder. Never felt that way when I lived in Seattle. I could leave and come as I please and really didn't think about it. Even San Antonio, I didn't really think about it a lot. So
Right. Got to get that glizzy. Uh, but but yeah, it's and like you said, guys, I really don't think about stuff like that because I know
Mm,
petty crime happens everywhere, especially if you live in
right.
like a desirable neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
people are going to attempt to steal something petty. people are going to throw a brick through your car window and try to steal the change out of every car down the whole block. But
yeah,
I mean, like my personal safety is somebody just running up on me trying to snatch my stuff. If I feel that way, I don't need the I don't need to be around.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
So
I think too that men just they don't have to walk through life kind of thinking of stuff like
mhm,
that. Women, we do have to be, just a little more cautious when we're taking walks in the neighborhood
mhm.
that we may live in, or walking
Right.
the dog, or doing whatever. So
Right. Right. Yeah. Speaking of dogs, when you gonna get you a little dog?
when I stop traveling, I actually do want a dog.
Dogs love Atlanta.
I'm not paying for a dog to go on a flight with me. I'm not paying to put a dog in doggy daycare.
Is it expensive to put the
Um,
dog on the flight?
I would assume so. Yeah, I'm
I
not
would
paying anything
assume. I would
extra.
assume. I would assume no, because everybody in the airport got a dog, and I'm tired of these dogs on the in the airport.
I agree, but I know that doggy daycare is expensive.
Oh yeah, that's
So
expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
one day once I slow it down a little bit, and I have a house,
Okay.
I don't want to have a dog in a
Yeah.
apartment. That's just me personally, because you know how
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am. The
Yeah.
cleanliness and
Oh
the
yeah. Yeah.
dog
Yeah.
hair, and
You know,
no,
for
can't do
folks that ain't that don't know,
it.
Kaya will clean all day, every day. You
I
call her,
can't
what
have
you
no
doing? Oh,
mess.
I'm mopping, I'm cleaning the toilet, I'm cleaning this. I'm like, you're the only one in there. Like, who else is in
I
the house
can't.
besides
If
you?
we add a dog to it, it's gonna be ridiculous. So
Yeah.
nope,
So,
not now. Maybe later.
yeah. 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 Definitely.
What about you when you get a cat?
Nah.
By the way,
Nah.
I'm allergic to cats, so you're not allowed to say
Yeah. I think everyone. I think my mom is too. A lot of people are.
yeah.
And that's something I don't see in the airport. People walking around with a cat.
People
And
have
so,
cats too. They just have them in
yeah.
the carriers, but they take them on planes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to put a service dog or service cat leash around a cat and walk it through the airport because it's coming. Because
Yeah,
I remember growing up, a service dog was like a German Shepherd. Now every dog is a service dog,
or an
a
emotional support
support dog.
animal.
A Shih Tzu is not leading a blind person through the city,
Yeah.
but people have Shih Tzus as an emotional support animal and a service animal. Like
hmm
I don't know. I think people just BSing the system to get their dogs to the destination they're trying to
That's
get
a
to. Whatever.
territory. That's a territory I'm not even gonna step
Yeah,
into. Y'all do
and a lot
whatever
of people.
y'all want with y'all
Yeah, and a
dogs
lot of people are not
and
going to step
cats.
into it, but I'm pretty sure in the next 2 years, these airlines are going to start charging people more money because everyone has a support animal. So
And I'm pretty sure I'll look that up. How much it is to? I mean, because the pet
it's
really
probably
isn't taking up like a seat. So I
it's
am
probably
curious on.
free for service animals because you got to imagine
Mhm.
if I'm blind or I need support,
Right.
like
Yes,
that
that makes
dog is a
sense.
part of me.
Right. And it's not taking up a seat. But I wonder for other animals. I wonder if you can take an emotional support animal because I actually don't know.
What if you're like on your way to Atlanta? I don't know if you have a window seat or aisle or middle, and
I'm gonna
like
get what they give me.
and you're sitting in the middle and like a guy or a girl, whoever, sitting in a
Mm.
window, and then you have a dog sitting in the aisle, like staring at you for 3 hours, like with like with like hot breath, just like staring at you, like,
I'm gonna
literally
put up
looking
with
at
it
you,
and shut up and just hope I
man.
get to my destination safe. I've been
No,
on flights where there was a cat and a carrier next to me before, and the cat was meowing for a little bit. Um, I switched seats with somebody who had a dog, so I don't think I've directly like had a pet near me, but I feel like you're gonna jinx me, so we'll see. If you jinx me, I'm gonna text you and cut you out.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't want an animal directly next to
yeah.
me,
I mean,
hopefully. But
it's coming. You have people now talking about, oh, I need a free seat because I weigh 400 pounds. I don't know if you've seen that in the news, with people
well,
being
some
so.
airlines do allow you to have an additional seat. Southwest, you can have
Mhm.
2 seats if
Okay.
you, I forget what they call it, but yeah, you can get 2 seats.
Special accommodations. I think that's something they probably call it. But all right, I'm gonna try to get a parrot and put it on my shoulder and get on the airplane. Like this is my emotional support bird, and he's gonna sit there all day chirping.
Well, you don't have a leash
No,
on the
no
bird.
leash needed. He can't fly anywhere. If he flies somewhere, he's gonna fly to another shoulder. and he's gonna come back. So, and people are not gonna like that, especially if you have one of
No,
those
no.
loud, those loud parrots that make noises and repeat phrases.
Telling
So
all your tea.
I wouldn't even, I've heard birds say some crazy things.
Oh, okay.
So I know we talked about the cousins that escaped from prison, the New Orleans prison escapees, and as you know, every day they've been finding new guys that originally escaped, and so two women and a custodian were recently arrested for helping some of the fugitives, uh,
I'm clapping. Lock
as
them
the
up.
manhunt as the manhunt in New Orleans continues. So 5 of the 10 inmates who fled New Orleans Justice Center on May 16th have been recaptured. And two
Oh, I didn't
women
know
are,
it
yeah,
went up to
yep,
5. Okay.
yep. So they're halfway there. And two women who are said to have aided the criminals by, uh, giving them cell phones and having communications with them via cell phone and also social media have also been, uh, you know, caught. And
Hmm.
so far it's two ladies and a custodian. I saw the custodian on YouTube before we started our conversation today. He said that the only reason that he helped them because they threatened him.
Okay.
So I'm
And that
trying to,
may be true,
yeah, but they're in
but
jail. Like, what are they gonna do?
exactly
If you don't
right.
let me out, I'm gonna stab you. So
Hey, they may have, but he needed to ask to be moved somewhere else at that point.
right, right.
Um, no, I'm happy that they locked up the people who aided in, them escaping. But I'm hoping that they find this other 5. So they have the charges of, these people who escaped. They have them
Mhm.
out there for people to see. And there's maybe one person who I think the general public would be okay with them, being out in the wilderness, for
Mhm.
lack of better words. But
Out in these streets.
yes, 90% of them, oh my gosh, their charges are egregious.
Yeah, I saw
You
that one
want
guy murder,
all of them
rape.
locked up.
Yeah, yeah. It's been.
Rape,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You're right. Not the R word. Yeah, but
Whew, yeah,
yeah,
they
and it's
all need
crazy
to be
because
locked up.
one of the guy who I was reading about earlier, he has a record of escaping. I think he's
Yes,
escaped like 6 times, and he's the one with the tattoos
yeah.
on his face.
Hmm.
And like we talked about, Memorial Day is coming up, so these brothers gonna be out here in these streets
Don't get a,
celebrating.
yeah, they need to be caught ASAP.
They right. They may be partying in Atlanta with you. You may be in there. You may see some brothers with orange jumpsuits dancing
911, what's
around.
your emergency? I'm
you gonna
snitching
yeah,
quick.
you gonna see some brothers in Atlanta with you dancing with orange jumpsuits. Like, yeah.
And you're going to hear
Mem-
the
Mem-
sirens.
Memorial Day weekend, turn up.
Because I done seen the mug shots. I know the faces. If I see you out, just know I will be
I don't
calling the authorities.
I don't even know the faces. I just know the tattoos. And I'm like, if I see anybody with tattoos like that on their face, I'm going the opposite direction. Like, this person's crazy. But
I am calling the authorities quick.
right,
They need to be locked up, caught, and right back behind bars
right, right.
quickly.
So one of the conversations I was reading about, in the comments of a lot of articles and on social media is that people have been complaining that when you report people who are on escape or people who are wanted, the authorities never give you your money. So if they're offering $10,000 for one suspect, a lot
Hmm.
of times the people who report them don't get paid, and they say, "Hey, well, why should I support? Why should I report if you're not going to pay me? What's your feeling
Yeah.
on that?"
Why? So why aren't they paying them though? Because they only gave information on one person instead of all 10.
So not with just this case, but a lot of times Crime Stoppers or tip
Hmm.
watchers, they want you to call them, and a lot of times people don't call them. They
Oh,
call 911. So they try to
got
find
it. Okay.
legal loopholes not
A
to pay
loophole.
people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you should still say something because they're out in your community. So you're not saying anything is,
Um,
damaging to your community. But
yeah.
I definitely want my money too, but you need to follow directions. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
see.
Well, I'll follow the criminals and be on my cell phone like, hey, I'm gonna give y'all my checking number right now, my routing number.
Let me get
Y'all
the
send
money
it to me.
first.
Once y'all send it to me, I'll tell you the address.
Well, I
And
want
I
them
got
off the street though,
yeah, I
so
want them off the streets
no.
too. But yeah, I need my money too, especially
Yeah,
throwing money around. So,
they're both
but no, you
important.
yeah, they're
They're
both
both
important. But
important.
I know we joking, but yeah, you don't want any criminals on the street,
Mm-mm.
especially if they're assaulting people or taking
Yeah,
other people's lives. So you
lock
know,
them on up.
yeah, like last week I was joking around saying free Chris Brown, but this
Well,
is
he's
something
free
more serious.
now,
This is
but yeah,
oh, he's free now.
he's free now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have to start doing my little moves, get ready for my concert in Europe. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, this why
five,
would you
and that's
why would you
yeah.
aid 10 criminals? It's just wild.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who are unfortunately in the prison system for the wrong reasons. They're in there
Mhm,
to help aid,
mhm.
furthering crime. So it's the unfortunate part of the justice system too. You have bad actors in there. So
Yeah, these people are crazy. So another Texas story for the Texans. There's a Texas bill which is aiming to prohibit individuals under the age of 18 from creating social media accounts on platforms, such as Facebook. I think the criminals are in your area now.
okay. Probably.
So the bill is aiming to prevent minors from joining Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. The bill mandates that social media platforms must verify users' age, uh, before allowing parents to also give consent to allow their minors to, join social media. And there's been strong opinions on both sides. People are against it and people for it. Like, I know we're not parents, but what are your thoughts on waiting until someone's 18 years old to allow them to join social media?
It's not gonna work.
Thank you.
It's a waste of time. It's not gonna work. These parents don't care. The kids gonna do it anyway. I
Hmm.
mean, pretty much all kids these days have a phone, which
Hmm.
I'm not a parent, but if I was to have a kid in the next couple of years, I would want them to have a phone,
Hmm.
even if they were like 6, 7. By the time they're going to school, I want them to have a phone. Sorry.
At 6, you want them to have a phone?
Well, yeah, there's going to be parental locks on it, but they need to be able
Okay.
to call me. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
too
definitely.
much going on, especially in these schools. I need to hear my kid's voice, if something's
Mhm.
happening. Um, but yeah, I don't think that there's a way around it for 14, 15-year olds.
Mhm.
The parental controls only go so far.
Yeah. And kids
So
know how to bypass that. Like,
yeah.
you gotta imagine
Hmm.
you know more about your cell phone than your mother does, and your mother's an adult,
Oh
you're an
yeah.
adult. So
Hmm.
imagine if you
Right.
got a 15-year-old, they're gonna know so much
Hmm.
stuff about the phone. You gonna only thing you know is like TikTok, Instagram, going to the settings,
Right.
changing this. These kids gonna be doing stuff that you ain't never even heard of.
Yep.
So
So I just
I
think
don't
it's
know why.
it's
Yeah,
a waste.
it
It's a
is a waste
waste.
of time. It is a waste of time. Like, it's a complete waste of time.
And I do
Kids are
think
gonna
that social media is definitely corrupting the younger generation, but I
it's
think we
corrupting
just
adults.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Because there's some days where I'm just doom scrolling. But
Yeah,
I think that we, like other things, we have to leave it in the hands of the parents. I think that
right.
some parents do a very good job at, controlling screen time and, making sure that their kid isn't consuming, too much social media.
Mhm.
Then unfortunately, we have parents who don't care. Their
Yeah.
2-year-old has an iPad. Well, let me not go there because people folks gonna get mad about that iPad. But yeah,
But a lot of parents use the devices for babysitting purposes. They don't want to watch their own kids, so that's like, let me give him or her a tablet.
yeah,
Yeah, and unfortunately, it is what it is. I
yeah.
mean, next they're gonna
That's
next, yeah.
society now.
I mean, next they're gonna try to say, oh, kids below 18 shouldn't get on the internet. Like, I was
Or
getting on the
you can't
internet.
buy them a device
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're under
You know,
18. Yeah,
yeah. I was getting on the internet. How old was I when I started getting on the internet? I think I was like
I was a teenager
9.
for sure.
Yeah, I was 9. Uh, I saw all type of stuff on the internet. This is before it controls. So
Yeah, right.
and the computer was in my mom's bedroom, but it was for us,
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at the kids stuff when she was around, but she left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah. Right. No,
I'm
seriously.
looking, and you gotta remember, like when we were coming up, they had chat rooms. Like now they call them
Mm-hmm.
like message boards,
Yes.
but they had live chat rooms where you would go in there. You don't know who you're talking to. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
live communication, like Teams chat. You're just talking to
Yep.
random people
Just
on the
random.
internet.
Yes.
People are posting videos of some of the like gory stuff, X-rated
Mm-hmm.
stuff, rated R stuff, and nobody said, "Oh, are you 18? Are you 16?" No, they just
Right.
posted stuff online. So
And I
yeah,
do think it's important to have those controls in place,
mhm,
but not limiting to you
mhm.
should only have this platform if you're
Mhm.
18 and up.
Right? The parent should be the control. Parents need the
Mm-hmm.
parent.
Agreed.
How old were you when you got your first cell phone?
I want to say like 13, 12, 13.
Okay, okay.
I think
Well,
I was in middle school.
was it common in your classroom, or you were like one of the people who got it first?
No, I think I was behind the pack because I
Oh
remember I
wow.
was begging for a
Mommy,
cell
give me an
phone.
iPhone. Mom, I need an
I did not get
iPhone.
an iPhone. I did not get a sidekick. I think my first phone, it definitely was a flip phone. I think it was like a little Oyster, like a little drugstore cell phone. But I
Oh,
was
one of
happy
those
with my
CVS
little
phones.
drugstore. I was happy with my
Walgreens.
drugstore cell phone.
Mommy, this
I
this
think
boy
Rite
want
Aid
my number.
actually.
Mama, this boy want my number. I need to give him my number.
I don't even think I wanted it for that. You know, back in the day, it was cool to like walk around school with your cell phone in your hand, like just showing off that
Oh,
you had
okay.
a cell phone. But yeah, I was behind the pack, so I feel like kids definitely. And I went to school in an affluent area,
Yeah.
so I know
Everybody
they
had cell
definitely
phone.
had sidekicks, iPhones,
Mm.
if they were out. I don't even remember if iPhones were out back
Yeah, I
then.
think the iPhone came out in uh 2000.
Oh wow, okay,
I think so. Because the iPod
okay.
came out. iPod came out. No,
Oh
no,
yes,
I'm sorry.
I did have an
iPod came
iPod.
out 2000 and what? 4, 2003?
I don't remember. But I did have one. I think
Yeah.
way later, like closer
Yeah.
to the college days.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I had one closer to college, and I remember
Yeah.
I had a thick one, and I had every song I wanted to listen to. And
Hmm.
one day it stopped working, and I was so mad because I'm like, "Yo, how am I gonna get this music off this device?" And so I took it to
Oh
the Apple. Yeah, I
yeah.
took it to the Apple store, and they said, "Hey, man, this thing is not working. We're gonna give you a new one." And I'm like, "I don't want a new one. I want my music back."
You know
And
what's
so,
crazy? I think I still have mine packed somewhere in one of these boxes somewhere. Let's see
right,
if I can find it one of these days.
yeah, I had shit, I forgot the name of it. We just talking about it.
iPod.
I had an iPod,
iPod.
and I had the leather case, and when you used to turn, it used to make that clicking noise. I used to have
Hmm.
it on my waist. I felt like I was the man. I had my
Yeah,
ear,
no,
my
seriously.
wire earbuds in my ear. I was
Yep.
like,
I still have
I,
wired headphones. I don't care.
I downloaded all that
Those are the
illegal music, and
wired.
I was listening to everything. Mixtapes was
Hmm.
popping. Yeah, so
Yep. Yes.
yeah, but
Oh, the good old days.
yeah, cell phone. Yeah, I didn't get a cell phone until well, I got a cell phone. I think like freshman or sophomore year of high school,
Hmm.
and I ran a bill up to like 300, $500, and this is before unlimited plans.
Hmm.
My mother
Oh, I
saw
know
this
you got in
bill,
trouble.
and
Oh,
she said, if you
hell
want to,
no.
right, right, if you want to talk, get a job.
You're right.
So I got a
And she
job
was
like
right.
2 years later, and I paid the bill. I've been paying the bill ever since.
Same. Same.
I've been paying the bill
Well,
ever
now I'm on my
since.
parents' plan, but
Right.
and
Well,
I
actually,
refuse to get off.
yeah. Actual
Refuse.
mom and dad, can they put me on there? I'm cheap. Put me on there. Put me on
Yeah,
that
I
unlimited.
refuse to get off of there. But yeah, I had my first job at 17. I remember I bought a BlackBerry and I had
Yeah.
pretty much paid, yeah, every bill, every single
Yeah. I had Blackberries until they released the last one, and people used to
bill.
laugh at me.
I
I'm like,
love BlackBerry.
I mean, it
Yeah,
works. It
I
works.
had BlackBerry and then obviously iPhone and never
Yeah.
ever gave up on iPhone after
And
that.
it's funny because I didn't think iPhone was gonna take off the way it did. Like
Hmm.
now, everyone has an iPhone. If you don't have an
Yeah.
iPhone, it's something wrong with you. And so I don't have an iPhone. And I keep saying I'm gonna get one
Yeah.
this weekend. I'm gonna get one this weekend, and every weekend comes and goes, and I still don't have an iPhone. But maybe I'm gonna get one this weekend. Maybe I'm gonna go out and buy one this weekend.
And I'm gonna get on your last nerve. Voice note, gift, everything I can think
You
of that
you
iPhone
you,
does, I'm gonna do
you
it.
sent me a voice note like 2 days ago. I have yet to listen to it.
Wow. Okay.
It was a minute long. I'm like, a minute long? Like, what you got to say that's a minute long? Like, that's
It
a
was
long time.
important.
I'm at work and I'm like, what is this? I'm not listening to this. I'm like,
Wow. Well, I'm gonna
and
continue to send you voice notes, so I don't know what
it's
you're saying.
funny. I had a
I
cousin that
digress.
does that. I got a cousin that does that. I don't know if it's because she's driving or what, but she'll send me a voice note. And it's like, why are you whispering? She'd be,
She's at work. Yeah,
I'm
she's at
like,
work.
I'm
Or
like,
you're
oh my
doing
God.
something important. You're like, I don't got time to text this. Let me just get my thoughts out on audio. So, yep,
I know y'all
we got our
got
roadblocks.
I know y'all got voice to text, but man, I see them
Yeah.
audio notes. I just look at it. And the one you sent me, I looked a minute, like a minute.
See, if you had iPhone, it would transcribe the voice note for
Yeah.
you, so you could read it or listen to it. But
So I tried to transcribe it. It asked me to download the app, and I said, I'm not downloading no app for this.
fair,
So
fair.
if you see my bubbles change, what's the color for Android?
Blue.
Blue.
Well, it's
So if I
green
change
now, but
the green to blue, you know I upgraded.
okay.
So you may just
Well,
randomly
you
get a
still need
face.
to go back and listen to my audio
All
notes,
right, all
though.
right. You may have to go. You may call on FaceTime like, hey, you send me an audio note. What you got to say? What you got to say now? So yeah. So viral videos of recent college graduates dancing and celebrating at commencement ceremonies have sparked, online debates. While some view these expressions as classy celebrations, others have labeled them classless, leading to a broader discussion on respectability, politics, and what's appropriate for a graduation. And for our audience that's listening to this and haven't seen any of the videos, there's commencement speeches going on or college graduations going on, and people are not just dancing in their seat. They're doing like choreographed Beyonce dances. Like, it's elaborate. Like, it's very loud and like over the top dancing. So do you have anything to add? Because I know you probably seen more of the videos than I have.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna like my opinion. But
Okay, let me hear your opinion.
my opinion is more so as a millennial than it
Mhm,
is like a classy, classless debate.
mhm.
Um, when I done graduated a lot, just put it out there, to
Mhm.
my own horn. I done graduated
Okay.
high school, I done graduated undergrad, and I done
Okay.
graduated graduate
So
school.
show us some dances. Show me some of them dances that you do at your graduations.
That's the point.
Okay.
Nobody was dancing across the stage.
No.
Nobody was screaming, chanting, yelling, boots on the ground. What else we got out there? Popping their fans. They wasn't doing any of that.
Twerking.
We were, we, we're shaking whomever's hand was there,
Yeah.
taking our degree,
And
diploma,
walking
whatever.
off.
Maybe, waving, clapping,
Yeah.
and we were getting on. That was, the end of that. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure where it came from that everybody, needs to have their own separate um, fiesta up there and that they
Yeah. It's
need to dance or, do a chant for whatever organization that they
mhm.
belong to. But I think it's more so that people, saw a few people doing it and then they kind of just took it and ran off
Took it
with,
off. Yeah.
ran with it. So I
Mhm.
guess that's more so where my issue comes from. And you have so many people doing that. It's just like, okay, let's wrap this up. We all got somewhere to be. We all have accomplished something. Why
Mhm.
do 40% of people feel like they have to do this certain thing? So that's my opinion. I know that people aren't gonna like it, but
Mhm. Yeah.
that's
No,
how
I
I feel.
think I think most people are going to be on your side. And from what I
I think so.
understand, some of these college graduations, I don't know if they say people's names. I don't remember.
They do.
Uh, I can
Everybody
only
gets their
imagine.
name called
Yeah.
across the stage.
So I think we had two graduations. We had one where they said our names, for the college that we graduated from, and then we had like a master ceremony where like we had some famous person come out and speak. Only reason I guess I did the whole commencement walk across the stage is because my mother wanted me to do it. Like honestly, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to take these papers and leave.
Oh, now that you mention it, I didn't even walk across. You're right. I didn't walk across the stage for my graduate degree.
Yeah.
I actually skipped it. But yeah, good point.
And I almost missed my graduation because the night before I was turning up. So I went out the night before and I drank so much that when I woke up the next day, it was like 30 minutes before the start of the graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
And so all I remember is waking up, looking at the time, not taking a shower, just throwing on my graduation suit and running across the yard because my mom was going to be there. And I didn't want to have my mom travel all the way to, to the college to see me walk. And then I'm not there. And it's so crazy because she ended up sitting right behind me. So she saw everything.
Yeah, but, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm not doing all this. It was too hot outside. It was because, people graduate outside most of the times, not indoors. Yeah. So I seen some of these dances. I don't know the name of them. I can't move like that.
Everybody's doing different. Yeah. Some people jumping up in the air doing splits. Then some people, they doing their organizations, dances and chants. It's a lot. It's all over the board, and it's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. I am not doing that. And people, I feel like, we got a lot of parents, grandparents there. Show some respect. And don't eat up everyone's time doing all these dance moves. I don't know what the current dance move is. I know people were doing the one where they grabbed their hamstring and they was bending down. I don't know. I don't want to say the nay-nay. I don't want to say the nay-nay.
It's definitely not the nay-nay.
Because that's old, right?
Yeah.
That's old. The gritty. That's the name of it.
I don't know what that is.
You've seen it before.
I'm an auntie. I do not know what that is.
You've seen it before. You've seen it before.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I can't bring it up because I got to pull up the browser. But you've seen it before.
Okay.
You've seen it before.
I'm sure I have, but I don't know what that is. There is one school I think that did it right though. There's one school who said, I can't remember the name of the school, but it was a college, and they said, we're going to utilize this time. It was before or after they called the names, and they did boots on the ground. They said we can all stand up. Everybody who was on the stage got up, and they all did boots on the ground together. I thought that was good because it didn't eat up into the time. It, took 5 minutes. It didn't take a long time, but it was a way for people to dance and celebrate if they wanted to.
Yeah. And I don't have an issue doing it as a collective or like once everybody's done and everyone's done and you're sitting down. I don't know if kids still take their cap and gown and talk. I didn't do it. I can't toss. My mama wanted to keep that thing. I can't toss that. Dance stand. Dance in your seat. Why do you need to be doing splits and backflips and front flips? Yeah. I guess I'm jealous because I can't dance. I don't know.
I can't either. I mean, I did a little two-step, but I feel like if the school is asking you not to do it, and then people get up there and do it anyway, it's just kind of disrespectful.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
yeah. So maybe
people will argue you down about it.
What are the comments saying on Instagram and TikTok? Because I know you read these comments.
They're split, but most people are saying let people celebrate. You don't know what they had to, get through to get to this point.
We all been through something to get to this point. I mean, we've all been through, But I guarantee you, the people who are saying that they didn't even graduate. No, they didn't graduate. People they didn't graduate, so they don't mind having their time wasted for 3 hours, as they do. What's the name of that? Pop, lock, and drop it, and I'm showing my age. What year was that?
I was like 10 doing that. So.
Right. So I was like, oh well, look, I ain't even do it. I'd heard of it. So you was doing that from when you was 10 years old. What is that? Not eighth grade. That's fourth grade. Your fourth grade graduation. You was pop, locking, dropping it. You were doing it. You were doing a nay-nay. You was doing the Soldier Boy. You was doing all that. Hey, watch me. Yeah, that's that's what you was doing. So
All of that.
yeah, but a
But
lot of
across
those
the
dances,
stage now.
yeah, a lot of those dances we just mentioned, like you can do in your seat, you can do where you're standing at, but they don't require black backflips and splits and
Yeah, the flips and
hospital
stuff is
visits.
crazy at graduation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I seen
But
one girl do a flip. She took her shoes off and did a flip. So
high
you know,
schoolers, I'm giving them a little more grace.
mm,
College, okay,
I,
if that's
I
what
don't
you
think
want
I've
to
ever
do.
seen it. Have I ever seen a high school? I don't think I outside of my high school. I don't think I've ever seen a high school graduation. And I've seen high schools walking to graduation or walking around with their cap and gowns, but
Yeah.
I'm not about to watch no damn high school kid walk across no stage. Like,
Well,
come
I'll be
on.
going to a college graduation in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you if they, uh, I don't know what these youngins be doing these days. Tripping out. I think they call it tripping out.
I don't know.
Uh,
You have a sibling or
gritty.
uh, uh, somebody close to you
Yes.
graduating? Okay,
Yep. My
nice.
sister's graduating in a couple
Okay,
weeks. So
yeah, congratulations, sister. Maybe you
college,
should.
not high
Okay,
school. So we
okay,
gonna see if
maybe
they
you should.
dancing and
Yeah, maybe you should encourage her to do some dances as she walks across stage.
she definitely that's not even her personality. She
Okay.
definitely ain't about to be dancing across the stage.
Well,
Ain't even gotta
okay.
worry
Well,
about it.
okay. Well, tell her when she get back to her seat, stop. Was it stop, lock, and drop it, or pop, lock, and drop it? You
Pop,
know,
lock, and drop it.
pop. Yeah, do some throwback stuff.
But I
Do
want to
some.
see if
Do
the other
do
kids
some.
do it because it's a more, Seattle is a different culture than
Yeah.
the South or a
Yeah.
HBCU.
T-
So we'll see.
yeah. Tell her to do some R. Kelly step in the name of love. Do something different.
Now
She probably
ain't
don't even
nobody
know who that
playing.
is. She
Well,
probably don't even know
that
who that is.
and we can't play. We can't play
Yeah.
that man
Yeah.
music nowhere.
Yeah. I can't say free him because then we're gonna have comments.
You better not say that anyway, or
All
me and
right.
you
But
gonna have a
all
problem.
right. All right. Cool. And then once I get my iPhone and you got a problem with me, I think we can go in vanish mode. We can argue. Is that an Instagram thing or iPhone thing?
That's Instagram.
Okay. Well, look, I'm learning.
He ain't got that either, y'all. So he don't know
Yeah.
iPhone, Instagram. He don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gonna
I know
learn
vanish mode. I know vanish mode. Somebody was rapping about it, so I know that.
that.
But yeah. But
Okay.
yep. But that's our last story. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for Sunday's show in a few days.
And let us know in the comments if you team Android or team iPhone.
Everybody gonna be iPhone. I get so
Mm-hmm.
much hate for this Android. I get so much hate. I get so much hate. I
It's
mean,
just I
it's a
think you're
lot.
gonna like I think you're gonna like iPhone and
Mhm.
the capabilities that you have with other iPhones. It's gonna feel like a secret community. But
And
you'll let us know, I'm sure.
I used to have an iPhone, and I enjoyed it, but it's so fragile. It's just so much glass, and if you drop it, you got to buy a new
Get a
one.
case. Just get a case.
Yeah, so
You'll be all right.
yeah, but let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're out.